Welcome back, everybody, to the Back Nine coverage of the final round of the 2021 Texas State Disc Golf Championships presented by Latitude 64. Coverage brought to you by Innova Champion Discs. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here yet again by Nathan Queen.
Yeah, looking forward to this back nine. We had some struggles on the front. Paul trying to make a little bit of a move at 3 down so far. Everybody else kind of in the even to over range.
Yeah, and we've seen that the number to shoot for is 10 down. That's usually the round that'll shoot you way up the leaderboard, and as you get closer to this top 5 mark, it gets really hard to make those moves forward. So Paul being 3 down, he has some room to work with, but he does have to get the pedal to the metal pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a tough thing to do starting on, or going into hole 10 here at the hardest par 4 on the course. Third hardest on round 3, 681 feet. Want to throw a forehand up to about this area, and then you have another gap to hit going down the hill that you want to finish off to the right on a fast green with pine straw and downhill.
And we have Calvin. Looks like he's he's going backhand up the left gap.
And he has pulled that off to the right, and it's not a good roll or reaction off of that tree there. It goes down to the left. So there's been 2 or 3 cards when you walk up to this tee pad as well. And while you're waiting, you get to feel the wind go in every direction off of the tee.
And Paul has thrown a pipe dream. Perfect shot.
So good.
Wow.
He's up there close to the FPO
That's one of the
basket.
best. Yeah, it's one of the best backhands I've seen on this hole.
But it's hard to tell which way the wind is really blowing on this hole, because while you're standing there waiting, watching everybody else throw, you see these flags go in all 4 directions while it's swirling through this woods. And this just misses that tree, and this is going to be a pretty good shot.
It is a decent position if Emmerson has room to take an approach. Calvin going forehand roller.
And was a great upshot from where he was at. He gets a pretty unfortunate. It keeps on going off to the left, and he looks like he has a pretty tough lie over
Look
there.
at that. Oh, that was so close to being a look for a birdie from where he was at. That was really solid, but caught some trees late.
And Emmerson looks pretty open, and he's hit this gap going down towards the pin. He gets it up there right around Circle's edge, putting down the hill. Has a birdie look. And Paul, after a fantastic drive, saws his upshot off pretty hard. But it does sneak through, gets one of those bounces that he likes to get and puts it close to the basket.
He likes to get. That is a 5-time bounce right there. Calvin going patent pending and catching something. And
that looks like it stuck to Kevin's finger there.
Yikes.
That's not something you typically see out of him. I don't think I've seen that before. And Calvin now throwing up to have a bogey putt. Kevin as well.
Yeah, that's a birdie for Emmerson. That's a bounce back. And this is a hole that does not get birdied very often. Very challenging hole. And a phenomenal birdie to get. 2 very specific shots.
And Paul looking to continue his move here after some fortunate things on that upshot, still able to get his birdie.
And this is Calvin for a par, I believe. Oh, that was for bogey. I must have missed a shot here.
Yeah, after his roller into the woods, he didn't quite make it down to the green and had to pitch up again. Kevin also tapping in his bogey, showing why this hole does play over par.
And we move into number 11, another very challenging hole to start this back nine. The FPO basket is a good place to maybe land your disc and skip it all the way to this protected green. This hole has given players some nightmares.
Yeah, it's such a tough angle. You'll see most the forehand plays go with a very stable forcing the disc straight and then wanting to get a low skip. Emmerson almost getting sneaky through there, does get up and has a long putt. In my opinion, I think a better line to get in the circle is this higher line that Calvin has thrown, and then just have it, instead of having it flat like he did, have it on a hyzer the whole time and still pushing straight around the corner, and it'll get a better flare since it was never flat. But it's a very difficult shot to do.
Kevin just not crisp with the drives right now. Looking at a grenade.
Pretty good.
Yeah, about 30 feet from the basket. Wow.
And if you kick early and go to this right side, there's just not always a chance that you're gonna, or there's not always gonna be a line for you to have a shot basket, like Paul did up there. Yeah. You saw him stretching out real far. Emmerson from 55 or 60 here, trying to knock another one down. Doesn't get the carry on it, but he'll have a easy par, which is how this hole plays, really. It's a tough birdie to get.
And that was Calvin's opportunity for the birdie to bounce back from that bogey on 10.
And Kevin looking for another great par save. You can see the leaves moving across the ground. The wind is blowing. And again, he is able to hit his circle 2 putt to save his par.
He has been dangling by a thread this entire round, and his phenomenal jump putting
He's just hanging on,
keeping him in the ball game. And honestly, that's what keeps a lot of these top players in the game is how good they are scrambling from uncomfortable situations. And on this course, it's almost everything.
Yeah, as soon as you don't throw the line that you want, you're pretty much in a scramble position. And Paul having to go to a knee here for his par look.
Great putt from the knee.
Making sure he focused in, feeling that wind, keeping it below the low ceiling.
Calvin also taps in his par.
Yeah, and averaging at 3.13, the card plays it about how you would expect, right at even par. Moving into hole 12, 621 feet. You've got this low cross branch here that keeps you to want to stay on the left side of the fairway off of the tee, finishing just slightly right. But you don't want it to go too far right because there is OB all the way down the right side with a barbed wire fence. And then once you get to that landing zone, you've got a very hard left to make. Paul has thrown a great backhand shot that just catches that tree there. Without that tree, he would have slid forward another 60 feet most likely.
And the misfires from Emmerson just keep coming.
Yeah, he's liking the low left so far. Just coming out just a bit early.
That's not a good spot for him to be. We'll see if he has a stretch out sidearm. This is a hole built for Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin has so much drive forward on his discs. He just gets them to go straighter than I really see other people get them to go, and they keep moving just as fast as they came out of his hand. Just like this, where he is pin height. Is he past pin height?
He's in circle 1 on the FPO basket, which is 500 feet, I believe.
Incredible shot. The ceiling's not over 20 foot high, and he just pipes it down there.
Emmerson going forehand roller.
Needs to get a little further forward.
That's going to be a bit of a sticky upshot. We'll see where he's at.
Kevin going super low, super fast. skip shot. It catches that last skinny tree, or he may have gotten up there for a birdie look. Paul from a bit further back than he's used to being, also coming in just a bit early, trying to get that severe skip angle on the disc. It's hard to keep it out wide enough the whole time. And Calvin with an eagle look here.
He was that far up the fairway.
Incredible. He was pin height and had a straight look at the pin. You see all these other guys trying to throw these severe hyzer looks, and Calvin, after his smash of a drive, has a straight putt at the basket.
Easily the longest drive I've seen all weekend. This is Paul for birdie.
Oh, and tough to get it up high enough, but he does and misses just off to the right. That was for Emmerson's par there. He is back on this roller coaster of bogey birdie that Dogwood likes to bring to many players. It looks like Emmerson rolled far enough out to where he is the next up to putt again. He'll be moving quickly, trying to just move on. He's ready to move on.
To say it lightly. And rounds out here like this happen, and if you're not on and you're getting the rough kicks, it is exhausting. As Paul squeaks in his own par putt.
Squeaks in his par after Calvin looks so happy with his birdie.
And Kevin's also going to snag his par, moving into hole number 13.
Yeah, hole 13, 519 feet. OB all down the right side and thick woods early left. It did have a headwind today when I was there. It is pretty swirly, so I don't know if it was headwind for all, but it does make this whole play a bit tougher than the last 2 days.
Calvin throwing a little steeper hyzer than normal. That's got to sit down. I don't see an OB marker, so he might be right on the line.
Yeah, there's a lot of thick little sticks and shrubbery over there just right where that fence is at. So it looks like he may have got stuck up in that.
I believe that's a force out of Paul's hand, and that is pretty much what you want on this hole.
Yeah, it came out a bit high, so it might not have gotten as far as he wanted to, but
Look
it's
at
still
this.
a good shot.
Look, oh,
And I played with Kevin the second round, and he did that roller play and put it to within 20 feet of the basket and got his eagle. Very cool to watch. He'll still have a chance at his birdie from where he ended up this round. Emmerson throws a good shot off to the right, stays in bounds. And yeah, Kevin gets up there to about 15 feet. He'll still have a pretty easy birdie look. Emmerson as well.
Yep, Calvin looks like he's just on the line. Little rhino out of his hand. Almost dunks it for the eagle.
Missing the eagle on the last hole. He's still hungry. Wanted this one. And Paul catching a little bit of wind there. Just kind of pushes his zone a bit further than he was expecting. And he'll have a trickier birdie putt than he wanted, but still pretty close.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration there. That's one that Paul makes.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And this hole is a must-get birdie,
Yeah,
especially at this stage in the tournament.
Still, even with the headwind, it did play as the easiest hole on the course at .45 under par.
Yeah, it was a 3.55. So if you are taking a par, you are losing strokes. It is counting as bogey strokes towards you as Kevin taps in his birdie. You know, and Paul knows coming down the stretch, if he birdied out, you know, if he only birdied out, he would have had a shot at the victory, and he's going to be kicking himself for that one. Hole 14, par 4, U-turn shaped. Very strange hole. As you can see, a lot of tight gaps, a lot of scattered skinny trees. You are throwing an approach shot off the tee, essentially, around the corner and hoping to get yourself in position to attack this corridor downhill with a fast green.
Yeah, I like the way you put that. It's kind of two approach shots for this hole. If you're throwing a forehand, then it's a hyzer approach to a straight approach if you get it to the right spot. And then there's also a high over-the-top Annie play.
Yes.
That I've seen from a couple players. We may or may not see Paul do that here. I know he's in aggressive mode.
Yeah, and Emmerson is going to play. Yep, here we go. And he does not like it. We will see where this ends up.
He's got past the first branches that you have to miss off of the tee. He may have pushed a little long of the fairway, but he's gotten fairly close to the basket. And what an incredible forehand from Emmerson. I think he's down there within 20 feet.
Calvin in kind of a rough spot. That's the thing about this hole. You could be 5 feet left of center and not have a very easy shot to that basket. I believe that forehand was from Kevin earlier.
It was.
Emerson is going to go with a kind of a tight backhand here.
And he's put it just outside of circle's edge there, it looks like. Paul did push a little long and got a very unfortunate lie. But he's able to work with it. No problem. And just a little touch standstill forehand pins it for the birdie.
Calvin making a bit of a run.
45 feet. Emmerson just low left. Drops out of the air for him just at the end there. Now he's got a little work to come back.
Oh. You hate to see it.
Yeah, it's slightly uphill right there. It's hard to... You may not feel it as much, you know, after you've come down that hill.
This is a 25, 30 footer for Calvin for his par. And he's going to splash out right side.
Yeah, he pulled that off to the right, which these baskets don't like to pull in. The chains are a little thicker, or the chain link may be a little larger. And
I've noticed the same thing.
They just don't quite grab that outside putt.
Kevin snags his birdie after a beautiful second shot. And Paul, being in a huge thorn bush, somehow finding a line and sticking it right next to the basket.
Yeah, easy birdie after that aggressive play, even though he did land in a pretty tough spot. And then moving on to hole 15 here, another par 3 that you really do want to get. Righty backhand or forehand is a good play. The backhand, in my opinion, is the best shot. You kind of push a stable disc forward and get it to slightly move right, flatten out, and fly straight the rest of the way.
And Kevin has done exactly that. He is parked for birdie. Luna out of Paul's hand.
There's one tree late right. He's missed that, and he's going pretty hot past the basket, though. It looks like he is just about circle's edge there.
Yeah, I feel like if you can throw it about 30 short, that pine straw right before it gets grassy helps to slide you up there.
Just like that. Calvin lands about 20 foot short, slides about 15 foot past the basket. And this is looking pretty good out of Emmerson here. Maybe an ace run, just a bit off to the right. And he joins Paul back there about circle's edge.
And this is a big birdie. We are on the home stretch of this course. And he snags the birdie weak side. That is a huge 40, 45 foot standing putt. And 16, 17, 18 are all birdieable for Paul. That's huge for him.
And a big birdie for Emmerson as well. You see green and red on the card there. He's just fighting along, trying to birdie out.
Exactly. Yeah, this course can just deal you some really rough cards sometimes, and just staying below par is a struggle.
So Kevin in for his birdie, and we're looking at the star birdie here, which is really what you want to do on this hole. One of the easier ones to get, even though you do have to hit a tight line through the woods.
Since it was released, the Halo Wraith has been my primary driver. These discs are so juicy. It's firm, it's got a nice flight plate. I really love the plastic. The Wraith's just like a disc that everyone needs. It's the perfect combination of distance and control. Looks great, flies even better.
And we move into hole number 16, a very challenging, specific par 3, 348 with that bunker of trees on the right, bunker of trees on the left, forcing you to throw a late flipping shot to this basket.
Yeah, and similar to hole 9, it has that kind of uphill, downhill to keep you. What a great shot from Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin sneaks through the canopy and gets right up there.
But yeah, it keeps you wanting to put the nose up, but there's also a low ceiling. So.
Oh my gosh, and Paul almost sneaks through everything as well. He might have a circle 2 look if that big tree in front of the basket is not blocking him. Everyone's kind of making the same mistake,
Yeah,
a little
getting
too
it
high.
Just a bit high. Calvin also sneaking through, though, and
What?
with the forward drive that he has, he just gets on up there and parks it anyway.
This looks like a better line.
Oh, yeah.
That's pure. That is a pure drive from Emmerson. Great shot. Ooh, and Paul got caught up in some rough stuff here.
Yeah, this doesn't look to be a great way to get a birdie. I'm sure he's going to be trying. Oh. He probably couldn't even see the basket from there, and he catches the top of the cage and chains trying to get his birdie in. He is on point right now.
And Kevin with his 4th birdie in a row. Emmerson snags his 2nd. 2 more holes left, both very birdieable. It's a very exciting finishing stretch.
Yeah, Paul actually messing up the star frame on this pretty difficult par 3. It did play under par today, but just barely. And
it's a hole that's decently easy to scramble for par if you are far enough up there.
Love getting outside and challenging yourself to become better? How about spending time with family and friends, or just marveling at the pure joy of flight? Then you've come to the right place at the right time. Join the PDGA.
And now on to hole 17, 555-foot par 4. You've got this low shot that you want to skip around those 2 trees and up to that single tree there. Or there is a high aggressive play that I imagine we'll see out of a couple players here.
Kevin opting for a more direct tee shot.
Yeah, him going with the backhand and just straight lined it. That's a great spot to be at. He'll have a backhand hyzer approach towards the basket.
And I somehow knew that Calvin was going for this aggressive play.
And he gets it up there great, gets enough turnover on it. still pushing forward.
Wow.
And he drops.
Oh my gosh.
Drops 40 feet away from the basket, gets an incredible roll, and is now absolutely, well, I can't say parked. He's 20 feet away for his eagle on a 555-foot par 4 17th.
That was gross. I just have to say it. That is not easy to get up there at all. And Paul going big flex out of the hand with whatever that, I believe that orange disc he's thrown is a Z-Force.
And he's gotten it over, but not quite as high as Calvin's was. Not able to park the hole, but still an incredible shot.
Should have a look for birdie.
Emmerson, after getting caught up on the high line, throws a really good up shot and is about circle's edge or so for his birdie look. A bit scary putt, though, with the OB just behind the basket. Kevin showing you why he went the conservative way, also right there for his birdie look.
You really wonder if Paul wants this eagle.
It looks like he did.
Yeah, I mean, with the OB all around the basket, you wonder if he's checking scores to see if he even has a shot at winning.
And Emmerson with the turkey there, getting him back to 14, trying to bring his round back just a little bit. I know he's starting to feel a little better.
5 in a row for Kev.
Yeah, bringing his back as well.
Oh, yeah. Starting to catch a little bit of fire. And this is for eagle. This was incredible.
Yeah, we're going to have 3 birdies on the card. And an eagle, still gaining a stroke on the card, getting him to 18 under. That is the closest that I think I will ever see a tee shot get to this basket.
That's incredible. With all the mature trees and all the canopy that you have to miss to get up there. And here we are, number 18, low ceiling, uphill, 351. All these branches blocking any errant shots from getting to the green. A very challenging shot to watch, or not to watch, but to throw.
Yeah, good finishing hole here. You can definitely get the birdie if you throw the correct shot. He's pulled it off to the right a bit. Gets a pretty good touch off of that first tree and keeps carrying up there. He's off to the right, but not in too much trouble. Should be able to get a par. And
Kevin's
just flippy enough to miss that tree inside of that OB past Champions graveyard. And does get up the hill, but not necessarily the birdie look he was looking for.
Emmerson, again, a little early on the release, and that's going to blow way by, almost by hole 1.
Yeah, you can see the wind here, kind of headwind right to left.
And I believe that Paul was trying to throw vulture on this one, and it actually ends up in a decent position.
Yeah, it kept on moving forward. I bet he was expecting it to get pushed off to the left because he saw the other discs doing that, and he just put so much force on it, it kept going straight. Calvin with a great layup to finish his round at 18 under par. Kevin with a long birdie look. Just not quite flat enough to get it there. Also going to be getting a par to finish his round at 18 under. And Emmerson finishing off the round with a bang. Long circle 2 putt for 4 birdies in a row. Great finish to just what seemed to be a roller coaster of a round for him.
And I think, perseverance is a big a big factor on this course.
And Paul with a tough putt, able to jam it, and that's a big putt for him. That
moves to 22 under par, and he's in 3rd place.
Tied for 3rd. Great, huge putt for him to keep him on the podium.
Yeah, and with Ricky Wysocki at this point, making a huge charge, Paul knew he had to do everything in his power to try to even come close to him. But wow, what an event.
Yeah, great to be here and able to call this for you guys. All 3 rounds at Dogwood in the woods, my favorite place to be.
And there you have it. That is the final round. Paul McBeth does make the charge with an 8 under par. He moves to 3rd place. And congratulations to Ricky Wysocki for another dominating performance. 4-stroke win over Matt Oram. 2021 season is starting to shape up to be extremely exciting.
I can't wait for the rest of it.
Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube. Again, I'm Brian Earhart. He's Nathan Queen. We are signing off.
We will see you guys out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Texas State champion, Ricky Wysocki.
Awesome. Thank you. That's cool. What is a belt buckle?
Oh yeah.
That's
Texas.
Texas style. I like it. That's amazing. Hold up like that.
The rounds. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great. I mean, I felt really good from the start to finish of this event. Whether I was winning or not is a whole nother story. If I'm in the right mindset to win, that's all that matters for me, and I know I can win at any point in time. And so even after the first round, I was down 3 strokes, and I still felt like I was winning just because where my game was at, where my confidence was at. And I knew that if I just finished strong and I didn't have any mental hiccups, because that's the biggest thing out here, if you have mental hiccups, that can turn into a double or even worse real quick. So I was happy to play a smooth round today. I had 1 bogey, but I had a lot of birdie opportunities, and I made a clutch putt on 12 that really, I think really, in my mind, separated myself from the field.
You were really close on a couple big putts heading up to that hole on 12, and then you finally got that one on 12. How much can one moment really set the tone for the rest of the rounds?
A great amount. I mean, I think you guys all see I put a lot of energy when I make long putts. I live for that, and that creates my spark a lot of times is these long putts, and I think that on 12 that's really what happened. It sparked me, and it allowed me to birdie all the holes coming in down the stretch. I think I birdied the last 6 or 7 holes coming in, and that's how you win a tournament with an exclamation mark.
2 big wins in 2 weeks. How would you rate the state of your game at the moment?
It's amazing. It's at the point now where I feel like I'm consistently playing at a high level. It's not just here and there. I think I'm Saki Bomb is back and here to stay. I think for sure. I like that saying, but I think it means a lot to me, and it definitely rings true with my game. And I just want to show everybody this week that it's true. My confidence is back, and I'm really excited for the future because this is repeatable.
So much support from your fans out there. Everyone's rooting you on. You got anything you want to say to the people who've been cheering you on this week?
Yeah, no, I definitely want to thank my tour manager Ari. And I want to thank her, and I want to thank my sponsor, Innova. They send people out here to support me. It's been an amazing feat to have them and like family out here supporting me. Circle 1 Disc Golf, Ridge Roller, and Birdie Disc Golf. Those are all my sponsors supporting me, and it's amazing. I'm glad I can get back to my sponsors and show you guys what I can do.
Once again, your 2021 Texas State Disc Golf champion, Ricky Wysocki. Congrats, Ricky, and we look forward to seeing you tear it up the rest of the season.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Ricky Wysocki.
Thank you guys.